Hey, what's going on guys? It's Dan here from TableTennisDaily. Today I'm joined alongside Tom in the TableTennisDaily studio and we're looking at STIGA's latest addition to the Carbonado Series, the 245 and 290 blades. These two new Carbonados really live up to their name and are packed with carbon, 200 grams per square metre of carbon to be precise. Although this doesn't seem that significant, you get an idea of just how much carbon this is when you compare the new blades to the older Carbonado variations. The Carbonado 45 and 90 use 64 grams per square metre of carbon, and the 145 and 190 use 100 grams per square metre of carbon. This means that the new 245 and 290 have double the amount of carbon when compared to the previous Carbonado series. By doubling the amount of carbon used, STIGA are obviously trying to up the speed and kick you get from these two new blades. This may be due to the response from players that the previous 190 and 145 were quite controlled carbon blades. There's a slight difference between the 245 and 290, and that's how the carbon layers are applied. The 245 is constructed at a 45-degree angle, and the 290 is constructed at a 90-degree angle. This is done to affect the trajectory of the ball, with the 245 meant to create a higher arc, and the 290 meant to create a more direct trajectory. The Carbonado 245 and 290 both weigh 95 grams. This is an increase from the original Carbonado 190 and 145, which weigh 92 grams. Once again, like previous Carbonados, STIGA's traditional look remains, with classical sharp features and a very solid and stable feel. The STIGA Mantra medium rubbers were used on both sides of the blades throughout the review. The effects of the high ratio of carbon are most notable when playing topspin strokes. The 290 is very fast. It feels like an off-plus offensive carbon blade. The ball shoots off very fast and has a hard feeling on contact. I had a very direct, low throw with the 290. What I did like was how stable my shots were. The Carbonado 290 is a rapid blade and packs a lot of punch.
Quick, aren't they? Yeah, quick, but I feel like quite controlled with it. So we're really interested to see what the main differences are between the Carbonado 245 and the 290. So we're just going to do a quick comparison between both, starting off with the 245. Okay, now the 290. Yeah, so straight away I can feel speed-wise they're very similarly matched. Not a big difference at all in speed, but the feeling of the 290 leaving the bat is a bit more direct. So you feel like you've got a little bit more dwell and that kind of softer feeling with the 245. So I'd say that's the main difference between comparing them both.
Okay, so in the past we've done the reviews on the earlier models, the Carbonado 45 and 90, and 145 and 190, which you can see in the links below, so check those out if you haven't already watched them. So here I'm quite curious to see what's the difference between the 290 and 190, the 290 being the newer model. Of course the 290 has a double the amount of carbon instead of the 190, so the 290 should be more zippier and more faster, which you are noticing. So let's just check out comparing the two. So the 290 versus the 190. Okay, so we do the 290 first with 3.4 hand. And the 190, already it's got a different handle size actually, so 290, it's quite a thick handle, 190, a thinner handle. Let's check it out. So both very fast blades. I use the 190 myself in practice, so I'm very used to that blade. But yeah, the 290 is just a touch faster, but very similar properties in terms of the feeling and that woody feel you get. Also that zip with the carbon within the blade.
Because the Carbonado 290 is a very hard, stiff blade, I was doubting whether I'd be able to generate a lot of spin in the short game. Although I got minimal dwell and reduced spin capabilities, I was able to produce enough spin to flick backspin balls when timed correctly, and due to the increased speed, I was able to force Tom into making errors on numerous occasions.
So I'm noticing here good speed with the 290, very fast, but also a lot of control with that woody feel. Okay, here I have with me the 90, Carbonado, 190 and 290. Using the mantra medium on each of the blade, I'm going to compare the differences between the blade and see how they perform. So we'll start with the 90 using the backhand exchange. And 190. And the 290. So I've always favoured the backhand punch with the Carbonado blades. I feel with the blades on the Carbonado, that woody feel, but that carbon stiffness, you can punch through the ball really well. And using all three blades there, they're all pretty fast, but it's quite noticeable that the 90 is the slowest of the three, and the 290 has a lot more of a faster feeling. But yeah, very good blades, all very good to punch with. I would still probably go with the 190. I favour this blade, and I like it a lot, especially with the handle. But yeah, maybe players who want to go for a bit more power and can control the ball, advanced players will probably go for the 290. I think if you're still developing, go for the 90. It's got a lot more control and a bit more stability, it's a bit slower.
The combination of mantra medium used worked well with both blades. Would recommend soft or medium rubbers with the 290 and 245, as hard rubbers such as the Mantra H and 10G25 would be quite difficult to use with these blades. Here are some open and match related points between myself and Tom. Tom used the 245 blade and I used the 290.
Oh, he got me.
Oh yeah. How did you find the 290 and 245 blade today, Tom?
Yeah, I thought they were both really good. Good high quality material as you'd expect. Definitely a notch up in speed from the previous Carbonado series. It was noticeable. I really like the feeling of both. I think they still managed to maintain that controlled wooden feeling, but also with that carbon explosive power and speed, which is a really good combination that the STIGA have got here.
So which style player do you think would be suited for the 290 and 245?
I think they're going to be generally aimed at pretty attacking players who are looking to play strong shots early in the rally. But also if you've got a carbon blade at the moment and you may be looking for slight more control and feeling in your shots, whilst not losing any speed, these would be ideal.
Conclusion. The new Carbonado 245 and 290 blades are certainly a couple of notches faster than their predecessor 145 and 190 blades, and have definitely been designed with speed in mind. We both concluded the speed of the 245 and 290 has increased by between 10 and 15% when compared to the 145 and 190. Although the blades are very fast, they both maintain a very solid, controlled feel, helping keep shots stable and accurate during stroke play. The blades are very stiff and hard, yet possess a lot of control. I think this trait is the blade's best ability to hold a strong, controlled, woody feel, yet produce a crisp and responsive contact. The 245 and 290 are suited to players who really like a fast blade and value speed over spin. The differences between the 245 and 290 simply come down to the flight path, which applies with the earlier models. The 245 produces a higher throw, whereas the 290 is more direct in nature, so you get less height over the net, but the ball gets to your opponent's end of the table faster. Personally, I prefer the 290 over the 245 because of its direct nature, but of course this comes down to personal preference. I felt very comfortable when holding off Tom's shots during active blocking. The Carbonado 290 is without doubt the fastest STIGA blade we've ever tried. These blades are definitely not for beginners, and more for players with good technique who just want a bit more speed out of their blade. Due to the blade's hardness, soft to medium rubbers such as the Mantra or Genesis S, Tenergy FX rubbers, or a soft to medium ESM based rubber would suit these blades well. Something like a Bryce High Speed would not work with either blade unless you just want to block, punch everything. You won't get much forgiveness in using a hard rubber with this blade. A slight downside for me personally is the weight of these blades, as my personal blade is quite a bit lighter, but I was able to get used to them pretty quickly. Of course, this again is just a case of personal preference, and if you're used to or like a heavier blade, you'll have no issues with either the 245 and 290. The earlier models are noticeably lighter, however have less speed and greater control. With these two new additions, the Carbonado series has covered all angles for all styles of attacking all round to offensive play. Be sure to like, share and subscribe. Also, check out our equipment review centre in the links below where you can review equipment yourself. Thanks for watching.